Suppose I press the key until I see something flashing. Is that us? Let's have a look. Lock. That is us. And herein lies the problem. I'm here at BMW headquarters. Just have a little look to see how much space some of the new cars actually take up. Am I even going to get in that? Someone could have at least put the seat back for me. Anyway, here we go. So, this is a BMW, let's shut the door. It's a BMW i5 Touring, and it's the M60 version, and we've got it for 4 days. That was interesting. Some sounds as we get switched on. We're in drive. Right, okay, let's not hit something within the first 10 seconds of driving the car. My main reasoning behind having this car for 4 days is to just try and answer the question, are cars' numbers getting too big? Is it too large? Is it too long? Is it too wide? Is it too heavy? Is it too fast? Is it too powerful? We will see.
Now to relive one of the most beautiful moments at the ball when Ed Sheeran performs Camera Capital, the UK's #1 music station.
So before we lose the light on collection day, I would just like to go through a few of the stats. Its power output is 593 horsepower. It will do 0 to 62 in 3.9 seconds. Electric consumption 3.3 miles a kilowatt hour, and it says the electric range is 301 miles, but I had 214 when I started. Now I've used 11% of the battery. In fact, I think it was on 98% when I picked it up. So I've used 9% of the battery, and I've only the range has only gone down 10 miles. So as I would expect, these press cars, especially one with 600 horsepower, is going to be used quite heavily. What I mean by that, people are going to have a heavy right foot. So the range that it started off with, 216, I don't expect that to be what I'm probably going to get out of it. But let's have a little look at a few of the other stats. Width, 2,156 millimeters. It's over 2 meters wide. Height, 1,505 millimeters. Length, and this is the big one for me, 5,060 millimeters. It's over 5 meters long, this car. Unladen weight, 2,425 kilograms. And we've also got a torque figure of 795 Newton meters. Top speed of 143 miles an hour. Don't really care about that. But it's a big car. My first impressions, though, aren't like that. It doesn't actually seem that big when you're driving on the road. It's really interesting on how it hides it. The steering's nice and light. It still gives you a directness, typical BMW, if I was honest, but I've never been a fan of many cars' steering abilities since we went over to this electric assisted steering. Width-wise, not really. I haven't really found it to be super wide compared to anything else that I've driven. However, the roads that I have been on over the first half an hour or so have been reasonably wide. However, first impressions are amazing. I've not played with everything. I've had a little look at a couple of the modes. Quite interesting different sounds that come on and are played as you use the car. I'm going to go through them in a different video, but this one is all about the size. Still doesn't fit in parking spaces very well. So I am in the city centre, back of Lime Street Station. Got the Adelphi Hotel just here on my left hand side. Remember, yellow boxes, you're fine to wait in them if you're turning right, but your exit road needs to be clear first. There's been a little bit of content on yellow boxes over the last little bit, but there's no better way to test the size of this vehicle. Yes, is the Audi thinking of going the wrong way up the one-way street? I think they were. There's no better way to test the size of this vehicle than going in a multi-storey car park. I had a little think about this one as well. Looks as though we've got a little bit of a queue, which is okay, don't mind queuing. It's busy, it's the couple of weeks leading up to Christmas. And that will probably be pretty good if it is chocker as well, because it puts a little bit of pressure on the parking, and I am going to try and find a parking space for this vehicle in St John's. Like I said, I did think about where I was going to go with this. Liverpool 1 car park is way too open. There's far too much space. That would have been easy. But this 5 metre long, 2.1 metre wide, 2.5 tonne BMW i5, is it going to be problematic parking in a tighter multi-storey? Let's go and have a go. Interesting. Traffic enforcement cameras for the... wonder whether they'll pick up on the police motorbike. They'll probably get an exception, won't they? I wouldn't have gone there. Couldn't have got out my exit. I'm just going to nip through before that lady gets to where she wanted. So I have got the benefit of the 360 cam. How do we put it on? Here. And it looks as though it's got reversing assistant on this. It doesn't surprise me. This car comes with virtually every option. Interior is nice, very well put together. Not sure, honestly, about the colour with black though. Sort of like a tan camely colour with grey. That's cool. Just picking up on the people there. Yeah, the seats are amazingly comfortable. Memory seats, they're adjustable in all different ways. You can change all sorts on them. So no complaints there. The quality of this vehicle on the inside is unreal again. This is an interesting little bit as well, because what I was saying there about the police motorcyclist, there's ANPR cameras that it's a bus only. I talked about the police motorcycles exemption or probable exemption to go through that. If you're ever up this end of town, maybe not when it's like this, but what you can do, rather than going through the barriers and up into the car park, you can hook a quick right and go out the other entrance, and it gets you to that other side unless they've stopped it. I'll show you this in a second. Car park is full. There we go. Is that a parking space? No, it's not big enough, is it? There's this one here. Oh, it absolutely is. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, start reverse parking. Oh, I should have let it do it. Go on then. Go on then. Oh, go slower, go slower. Way too close to the white one on the right. It's faffing about with it. Oh no, it's in between the lines. Okay, cool. Could I go a little bit further back? I think I can, so I'm going to. There you go. Because that is pretty stuck out at the front. I am going to take this camera. I'm going to turn the car off. Bye bye car. And I'm just going to go and show you the kind of distances we've got. Could I even get the boot open there? You know what? Not even going to risk it. It's not my car. And what do we like? Yeah, stuck out at the front. I know I've picked an awkward bay with the piece at the back, however, not brilliant. Now, let's see whether we can get out okay. Let's have the surround cameras on. So, I'm not going to make the front one. Or am I? You know what? Pretty impressive that. Oh, I was talking about options. This car's got rear wheel steering. So although it is, that's tight. What do we like at the front? Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. Yeah, even though we've got a 5 metre long vehicle, with the rear wheel steering, it just makes it much more manoeuvrable. So, makes a massive, massive difference. So, this is the exit. This is quite tight if I remember it as well. You've got to be careful of, and it's been a while since I've parked in here, to be honest. An easier job would be, thank you mate, for me to go over here, because it is super tight. A little nudge of that curb, super tight to that one, and we're okay, we're done. So yeah, didn't even pay for parking by the way, because we were in there for that short a length of time. But this is what I was saying, if it's not chocker, you can literally just drive through the barriers up and round this way and it heads you out to the other side where the policeman was heading to. Heads you down here. So it's a little trick if you ever want to get past down this way. It's an interesting one. So the car, you can see what I mean about its length. We were quite lucky with that parking space that we had there, that there was enough room either side. People had left enough room. I'm not sure whether that parking bay was a normal size. If you think about even when I picked the vehicle up, or this vehicle up from BMW UK yesterday, it was super narrow, super tight, there wasn't much space. I had to lift my bag over my head and squeeze around a post. So it doesn't make things easy, but it doesn't make things impossible. The self-parking feature there, it was a little bit of a faff, probably could have done it a little bit quicker and easier myself. The rear wheel steer, I don't know whether you probably understand most of this, but if the front wheels under slow manoeuvring, if the front wheels are turning left, the back wheels will turn that way, and it sharpens the turn up. I think it sharpens the turns of its turning circle by, is it half a metre, 0.7 of a metre, something like that. So it makes a big difference, to be honest. It's still on parking. Let's get shut of that. When you are... Oh, I don't want to park, thank you. It's still looking for parking spaces. When you are at slow speed, like I said, it turns in the opposite direction to the fronts, to the front wheels. And if it's... Oh, shut up. I do not want to park. Thank you. But if you're at high speed, it turns in the same direction as your wheels, so it makes it, I wouldn't necessarily say crab across, but it increases stability of the vehicle at higher speed. So, day 3 with the BMW i5 Touring M60. I've charged it up fully overnight, and we have now got 246 miles of range. So it's getting on for what I was talking about. We drove it a little differently yesterday. It was just town stuff, so that economy might not be as good. So range wise, 250-ish, and I think that's probably going to be real world as well. So we'll see how we get on with that today. Yesterday in the car park proved that this vehicle is not too big for manoeuvring, but how much did the rear wheel steering play in that? A fair bit. The 360 camera and the extra tech gives you an idea of exactly where the car's positioned, so that helps. Would I fancy reversing into a space in St. John's, or in fact manoeuvring around without this modern tech, i.e. 360 cams and the rear wheel steer? Well, I'd be really wary, because this car is a big one, but as an entity itself, it's not too big for that task. Other vehicles may very well be. However, this BMW i5 didn't struggle with it. It coped with it fine. What we've got to try and work out today is whether the weight's too much and the power's too much. So I'm going to head to North Wales, and we're going to go and stretch its legs a little. So we can see by the screen, it displays where the rear wheels are going to go, where the front wheels are going to go. So the fronts are coming away from this curb now, but the backs are slightly heading towards, so you can just manoeuvre it quite comfortably. Takes a fair bit of care, however. It's quite straightforward. No curbed wheels or rims, thankfully. Another big factor of driving today is stuff that we've got here. Look at the sign on the left. There's average speed cameras all the way down this section of road. I do know this road. It's quite close to Triumph Chester, where I got my motorbike from. But there are large sections all the way down there when normally, maybe on a motorbike, or maybe if you were in a powerful car, that you might decide to stretch your legs a little and push a few speed limits. You know me, it's just not my thing. But does that, and how we are managed on the road for safety's sake, does that curtail the need for 600 horsepower as well? Possibly. It's quite tight. However, with my limited, we'll always add this, with my limited experience driving lorries, I have got a Class 2 licence, although I've not used it. After doing that, the width of this car becomes a little of an irrelevance, because honestly, if you can drive a lorry down these sort of roads, you can drive one of these, and that's it really. I've mentioned about manoeuvring, and if manoeuvring is an issue to you in this car, your skills just literally aren't good enough. And that's how I feel about the width. If you cannot work out that the section you're coming into is going to be a little narrow, the brake light's coming on from the vehicle up ahead, slippy road surface sign, so I'm slowing here, I'm never going to have an issue with what's coming round this bend. If a tractor came round the corner towing a plough and it was stuck onto my side of the road, which mirrors my closest I've ever got to death in a car, to be honest. I have told the story before, but it was when I was young and inexperienced. So the point that I'm getting at is the width of this car, if you drive it accordingly, is not an issue. And that's it. This is where the torque of electric cars comes into play. Uphill, but unfortunately we're at a 20 limit, so can't do much. We're heading up to the Horseshoe Pass. I did the Hard Knot Pass in the Lake District not so long ago, and we're going to go and have a little look at this a little bit further up. But just on the weight of this car as well, it sort of mirrors what I've just said about the width. The weight is never going to be an issue for me because I'm never going to be pushing it to that extreme. So coming in towards this corner, can this car handle this corner at this particular speed? Yes, easily. If you drive to limit points and set up your vehicle prior to the corner, you can manage the weight comfortably. It's only when you come tear-arsing into a corner, use the brakes, you're going to get the car to rotate and you don't mean to, and then suddenly, you know, you're facing the wrong way, or you're in that ditch to the left-hand side. It's a bit more than the ditch. So it's not a problem the weight-wise. We do have to think about weight in terms of collisions and accidents and what they can do to pedestrians and the more vulnerable people. This car does weigh 2.5 tons. So we've got a 20 limit here. And if I'm negligent and I drive not responsibly and I go off and hit a pedestrian, the damage that I can do with this is much greater than maybe a car that weighs 1.5 tons. But you're still going to do massive amounts of damage, and it could be absolutely fatal. So the weight on both sides of it doesn't cause me any issue. So what it really boils down to is human input. It's how you operate the thing, and that's always the main contributing factor to problems. It's not the car, it's not the power, it's not the size, it's not the weight, it's the person operating it. And that's one message that I've always got across towards people. And that will always be the case. So as long as the vehicle isn't too big for the roads, and we've proved in St John's car park that this thing is very manoeuvrable for its size, it's not a big deal. This road's been particularly bumpy, and honestly, the suspension on this thing is immense. I would probably say it's the most comfortably damped car that I've been in a long time. It's fabulous, very good. It's an amazing engineering job to be able to do that with the weight involved. There's very little body lean as well. Like I said, I think it's got air suspension on the rear, and I think that's the same for all the i5 models, I think. But this M60 has got a little bit of a more trick system. It balances the car and levels it out in the bends a little bit more, and it's controlled, it's comfortable, just hitting every pothole that I can find, and it just handles everything that you throw at it with aplomb. See what I mean about the control around here? No body lean, no body roll. It's a fabulous piece of engineering, this car, it really is. Notice I slowed right at that point where the van was potentially steering around the corner. I know I can keep it within my lane, but I don't trust anyone else. Lovely road, by the way. Smooth road surface. Cross view. I can easily take this at this speed. It's an impressive piece of kit, this. So, in summary, the power, not a big deal. The weight, not a big deal. The size, not a big deal. We do have to have a little look at the price, though. I'll do it. A little bench to sit down on as well. She's a bit dirty, but what do you think of the looks of this thing? So this i5 is absolutely stacked full of options, and I'd like to show you one that I particularly like. So the boot is cavernous, but there's a little button here. It's this one, and we've got an electrically deployable tow bar. So I'm going to press this. Have a look at that. We've got the electric socket at the sides as well. Absolutely perfect. And BMW do think of everything for these press cars. We've even got a spare number plate. Now, if I'd had the car for a little longer, I think I would have put my bike carrier on the back and gone and done a little bit of cycling. However, we were limited on time, so we had to leave it for this particular one. But if we press the button again, it's quite straightforward. No messing about, no getting down on your knees. That's a result. So let's address the price. Let's have a little look at this. The base price for the car is £99,090. Apart from a penny, it's got £15,500 worth of options, and with the on-the-road costs, I think that is, if you purchase this car as it is, it would be £115,352.49. Now, don't worry about that price, if we can just say don't worry about that price. It has got plenty of options. It's got the tow bar fitted, which we've just had a look at, which is 1,200 quid. It's got a technology pack, it's got a technology plus pack, and it's got the ultimate pack. I think the ultimate pack was about 11 or 12,000 pounds. So it's got loads of kit on. There is massive discounts on these vehicles, but it would have to be a huge discount for me. Does it feel as though it's 3 times the price of the Volvo I've bought? No. Does it feel as special as I would expect a £115,000 car to feel? No. It is an amazing piece of kit. The technology behind it, and I'm talking about even just the driving dynamics of how BMW engineer such a big, heavy, wide, long vehicle to operate in the way that it does is really, really impressive. But it's just that price. Now, it's not just BMW that the prices have got bigger and bigger and bigger. It's all the manufacturers. And I think that's really what I had in my mind when I first came up with the idea of this video about car numbers, weight, width, length, power, blah, blah, you get the idea. I always thought that the sticking point was going to be the price. Now, people do purchase these generally, like I've said, through businesses. A business purchase for this vehicle is a totally different proposition. However, it does show just how far away vehicles are going from the average driver. Honestly, I couldn't even think of how much this car would cost you on a PCP. I'll try and find out. I'll have a little look at maybe a few lease deals and give you an idea, but it's going to be a massive amount. What conclusions? Well, I think price is the only sticking point. I think as we get bigger with vehicles, they have come up with technology to help us cope with that. The last little bit that I've done today regarding it's the person operating the vehicle is key. But I do think we have reached as big as we can get. I don't think driving anything any bigger would be possible in St. John's car park. Even going through a drive-through in McDonald's. We definitely have reached the size limit. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Let me know what you think in the comments, and if you had an unlimited pot of money, would you choose this vehicle or would you choose something else? Let me know that as well. Keep safe, everyone. I'll see you soon.